another casted series from the Trash Can League. This is the 6th round here today between Snoopa and Big Chiss. Game number 1 on in this round will be played on New England, a map chosen by myself. A really fun map. Ponds, sea, decent treasures, pushing resources to the north. It's a very dynamic map, very different to other maps we've seen. We see Snoopa playing as the Indian civilization spawns to the southwestern map in the colour yellow. And we see Big Chiss playing as the Ottomans spawns to the northeast of the map in the colour blue. Indian player here, Snoopa, seeding a 90 food treasure. I'm going to go and take that one. Very nice opening. Has ran past a few other treasures here. 25 XP, 25 coin. In base, got a 50 coin treasure as well, but won't need the coin this early. Now, seen a 100 food treasure. A bit of an awkward treasure here to take here, Indians, because these are ranged units. There's no real way to kind of group them together, so trying to get them stunned is going to be a bit difficult. Snoopa's now seen 85 wood, but Big Chiss is nearby as well. Chiss here looking to move out to take a trading post, one would assume, but this isn't a misclick. I have just seen the blue in the water. Big Chiss here, going to go for a dock opening here as the Ottoman civilization, and I'm sure Snoopa is very aware of this, having not scouted a single trading post here from Big Chiss. And looks like they're going to try and move in and steal this treasure here for treasure contention. So Big Chiss here going for a non-standard opening. Will just pay off for him. 100 food this early would be very, very nice as the Ottoman civilization. Both civs directly aging at faster results. It's going to be close though. Elephant player can't even attack this. It's all on Chiss's watch. This is. He's going to go for it. Oh, he's walking. Oh no, what a horrible bug. You can see what happened there. He got the kill, went to click the treasure, but the explorer started walking around instead of bending down and actually picking it up. So unfortunate for Chiss. I think he reacted first there before his opponents, but unfortunately DE today was not kind to him. 3ville, quite a lot of docks, fishing boats actually. 2 on the water now, 2 being trained up behind. We have seen a few trees have been chopped, so that's 70 there, more than 70, 110, 180. Near enough, about 200 wood chopped there, just to try and get those 4 fishing boats. It does have the single house, but it's trying to open up very similar to how, let's say, Iro, Hob and Shone open up recent times. And let's see how this extra eco works. Big Snoopa here, sending in his first card, distributors them. Aging up with the Agra, securing this choke, securing line of sight on his pond. Not fully in your face on the trading line. Maybe Snoopa's expecting Chiss himself to go forward with racks, maybe double racks, artillery forward to try and contest the middle. That's maybe what Snoopa's thinking, because he's seen the no trading post here, not anticipating a fast fortress. But so Snoopa's either anticipating colonial play here from Chiss, or that he has acknowledged that this player is on the water. He hasn't scouted it, but you can see his explorer where he wants to go. I think he's trying to go along the coast here and see what the Ottoman player is up. If we look at let's look at the Ottoman player's deck as well first. It does have a New England specific deck. We do see schooners, we do see a rendering plant, naval combat, ships as well. So gearing up to economic focus as well as military on the water. Has the 2 sea galleys at Age 2. Curious to not see any frigate support or 3 galleys in the 3rd age. Maybe taking out 5 Spahis here would have probably worked out quite well. I'm not too sure if the Ottoman get a double monitor shipment in Age 4. I'll have to check that one up at a later point. But if we go to Snoopa's point of view and look at his deck, well, he's also going for water, but he's got a few more cards. He's got double fish upgrades there. He's got East Indiamen as well as 3 naval shipments and naval combat. So certainly more prepared to go on the water. 2 siege elephants in the 3rd age is a very smart card as well to have. 2 howlers is pretty decent versus Ottoman in its own regard. No shipments in the 4th age or siege elephants. There's a bit of a standout there. 1 trading post taken here for Snoopa already as the Indian player. Looks like Chiss is going to take his own trading post here using the... Well, I was about to say the age up wood, but he's gone tower here. Tower, 200 gold. Is just going to try and do an FF. He is. He's just basically he's chopped through a trading post in transition and going for for a fishing boat semi-eco, semi-FF, or yeah, fishing boat eco semi-FF, and delaying that age up a little bit. Does the 4 fishing boats which gather at the same speed as 4 villagers on the berries really help Ottoman that much? Considering that chances are he will only be producing from 1 barracks. His agent's going to be slower. He's basically denied himself a lot of experience points. It's given India more time and confidence to get out on the map. I have to question it. In come caravels really early. Wow, 2 fishing boats already going down there for Big Chiss. But trading this Isle time and the 4 fishing boats for 2 caravels this early on, actually maybe a marginal win there for Chiss if he's able to kind of pivot his plan into the Fortress Age, which he's doing right now. So Chiss going for the really early caravel play, just really hoping that Chiss was going hard water eco there, but alas he's not. But I think a mixed approach here of the seapoys and lands and the caravels and water is going to certainly puts the Ottoman player feeling under pressure. Snoopa, meanwhile, has a market back in base getting his civil servants tech. I think that's his first tech he's got. No, he's already got... No, that's his first tech, yeah, definitely. First tech, civil servants. That's good, nice to see. Make a hunting eagles next and just keep those shipments ticking along. But he wants to have enough wood for another villager and he's waiting for that. And yes, that's a nice play there from Snoopa. What's Chiss up to? What is going... Oh, he's in the Fortress Age already. I was about to comment on how fast his age up is. But he's aged fast here. He has not aged slow with Hussars. He's literally clicked the age up fast button here with the Exile Prince, which... Yeah, he gets him for a fast age up. He's got nothing on the field, no Abus guns on the age up, no Hussars, nothing to go with it. And it's not like he's got an extra shipment here in the 3rd age because he's delayed his train post, he's delayed his mosque. So it's going to be a bit of a kind of a... I'm not to say delayed push. It just feels like there should be more happening, but it will take time for this Ottoman fast forces play to really roll through. And here comes a nice seapoy raid. Actually, it's going to be 6 of them. That should be enough to one-shot Vil perfectly. And one Vil goes down. That seapoy having just more than 81 HP. It wasn't 91. Yeah, it did go down to 2 shots. So luckily now all these villagers will be safe from that 2-shot kill. But a bit of out time here, and look at this. Is this going to be a fast industrial play here from Snoopa? No, from Chiss? And that's what I'm guessing at. He's got 1,200. He's got 1,200 food, bit of wood left over. He used the coin to try and get more Falcons out and try and go for Vet Jans. It just looks like this. Like I've build from Chiss is just looking a little bit creaky at the moment. He's going for double house as well, so he's going to not have enough wood here for Vet Jans. This is going to be a bit of a mistake here from Chiss. And the Falconets is coming, and he's having to go early Falconets here because he hasn't got the XP to go 8 Janissaries first into the Falconets behind to kind of have a solid mass of Janissaries, and then kind of covering those Jans with the Falconets. Brem's asking, Harry, can you tell us a little bit about the TCL? How far is the tourney? Well, Alligator's played all of his games, and so I haven't actually cast all those games yet. These final 2 games are from the round of 6, so we're up to 6 completed rounds, tackling the 7th round very, very soon, and hopefully 8th and 9th will be done at a later point. But yeah, we're getting towards the end of it as well. All the players in the TCL, or most of them, are working their way through the ESOC Challenger League as well, a very similar style event, a team event, not as big in terms of duration, but maybe bigger in terms of kind of awareness, visuals, and maybe player level as well. So it's nice feeding ground for them. The 3 seaport raids is at home. At home is nice. Just pushing out here with just Colonial Jans and only a couple of them. But even still, it feels like India has no real answer for the Falconets. Just should be a little bit aware that the splash damage here from the Agrafort is putting a number on both these Falconets. Ceasefire has been called. Snoopa's aged up with the Taj Mahal. And the fact that Snoopa's caused ceasefire this early, he's just scared Chiss because look, that's such a bad play, but it's also fantastic at the same time. Snoopa's just wasted his ceasefire in the sense that he's not time to do anything, he's not pushing out, he's not using it to his advantage. But what he has done is he's used defensively to protect his aggro fort, hoping to try and get 2 Howders out behind to try and focus with the Falcon and protect the aggro. But what he's actually mainly done is he's sent the fear into Chiss. He's thinking, because Chiss is aware that any time ceasefires called is usually backed up by a Yurumi shipment or elephants or Minutemen or Ottoman consulate minimum from the aggro, battery units being trained, all that good stuff. And Chiss has basically ran for it behind here. He's just going to 1k words behind this. This is just... It's an interesting idea. I know it's not getting his town centres, maybe 2 of them. He's got a lot of food and gold stacks. Is he seriously staying in this age? Feels like there's always things to be trained, especially with this floatage of resources. He's still on the 2 fishing boats. These 2 caravels have been idle this time. I'm sure Snoopa could be fishing with them. Kind of the play is kind of just frozen on the coastline a little bit, and nearly just having sentries called as well. I don't know where they were called for, why they were called for, but it felt like Chiss had Snoopa on the ropes there, but Snoopa having the time to get out, aging up the Taj Mahal for the coin to afford these very expensive units, the Howder, and with no veteran Janissaries here for Chiss, and he's not actually teching into veteran Janissaries yet. This is going to be pretty bad. These Howders hard counter everything that Otto have, and especially what he has on the field at the moment. You see Chiss just noping out that one, running away, and 5 Howders. They have negative multipliers by villagers, but when these units are so strong, they kind of overpower that. And Snoopa just taking the initiative, it feels like, in this game, just having a bit more of a... just now that momentum has gone straight into Snoopa's favour. This 1k wood from Chiss really has to work, because the problem is town centre fire on Howders would take a long time. More than 900 HP, so it's more than 10 shots. We're not even including the 10%, 20% range resist here, so... These Howders can just basically walk into town, just sit there, chill out, relax. And hopefully Big Chiss is going to get his vet Jan Tech at some point. 14 Jans. Train another batch of 5 as well, so he's just not. He just can't get that mass. Calling in the 6 Abus guns to deal with this, which is the best of a bad bunch to try and do this. And there's no 5 Cav archers in the deck, which may also help out quite well. And the thing is, these guys, with their ranged attack doing siege damage, they do bypass the range HP, but it's just so much HP on these elephants. They just walk in, the Falc's gone down, it's easy pickings on the Janissaries, and yeah, Snoopa looking to be in absolutely fine position this game. Big batch of Jans, Abus guns, Snoopa's going to return, but the thing with elephant players, which I always remember playing versus, is that these guys can pull off, go Brit Consulate, get in the Surgeons to heal these guys up, bit like a H2O or an AZAC style, but it's also, elephants are strong on their own, but having elephants mixed in with Yurumi and Mahout, so having let's say a Howder Mahout Yurumi combo is just impossible to micro against. It feels like it's just a never-ending task of trying to do that, and yeah, Snoopa taking the score lead quite drastically at the moment. Caravels here moving around just to try and find those fishing boats, but I think Snoopa is very happy that boom, shall I say there in quotation marks, has been very limited by those 2 caravel shipments. This training post stood up a long time here for the Indian player, taking down all of Ottoman's training post. Otto is in the next stage with basically no trading post, no eco. Second town centre now being dropped at 13 minutes is just way too late here for Chiss, or pardon me, it's probably been up for about a minute already, probably built up from 11 minutes, but you know what I'm talking about. 19 Jans, 16 Abus guns, both colonial units here, still on this kind of colonial vibe. Hoping that he gets vet Jans behind us, maybe sending in Jan combat or 8 Jans, yeah. Sure, he's going to get vet Jans now, yes he is. He's going to get vet Abus guns, I guess. That also makes sense because he wants to try and do this from range, but here come the Yurumi and the Howders, and Snoopa's just hiding in the town centre, but these Howders do decent siege attacks, 70 apiece. But you can see how it's running through Ottoman player's base. Ottoman's trying to engage this, but it just doesn't feel like he can. That's the sad thing. But he's engaging before the veteran tech comes in as well. That's also it's minus to his damage output, losing a couple of Abus guns as well. But this, again, the reinforcing batch of Howders going to be so strong to deal with. Jan's possibly being sent forward. Yep, Jan's sent forward here. but I'm sure the Howards will just turn around and pick 2 off there. 3 caravels sent to the middle pond. Super smart play here from Snoopa, getting some pressure, but also a very, a mobile, strong forward base for the units on the lands to fall back to. Just looking around to see at Snoopa's point of view what else he's got going on. He's got more Howlers in queue. These villagers have got the Silver Servants and Blanket There's no Imperial bureaucracy research on these guys just yet. Brick Consulate in. Enough export for Musk. He's got the 2 Surgeons as well. Not necessarily a meme. Surgeons healing at 15 health per second. Stronger than the Priests. It's very nice. You've got the Elephants here healing up as well. And these guys, they heal up 4 HP per second, so you'd definitely rather have Surgeons, but these Howlers sponge a lot of damage, so certainly going to get a good value there from the Surgeons. The Yumi at 4 HP, it's all good. I think they naturally recover over time as well if they're stood still. It's only a little bit they recover, but looking for Snoopa to go for Brick Consulate here, Brick Musketeers, he's got the Mahu in queue. That ceasefire is nearly ready to go again, which is a pretty big thing. You're having fast elephants to move in under ceasefire will still move faster than defensive military infantry units. And Chiss here pushing out. This is risky. I know he's thinking he's trying to bypass the caravels. The caravels can't come on land. Is he going to go straight in? It might be. Agri-Fort is way too expensive to repair anyway, so this Agri-Fort is going down. But we have 1 Mahout in queue, second one being added there. Got a bit of coin in the bank as well, so it could just drop down a house and buy for a 3rd. I don't think it really matters. It's getting the house now. A few of these houses may be a bit exposed, but you can see the entire Indian army here trying to wrap from behind. Where are those Yurumis gone, actually? That's the question I have. Oh, they're just hidden underneath the Howlers. But Mahout is chilling back. Mahout shipment from the town is ready to go. And actually, it's going to hit a really good time in here. Big Chiss here, completely surrounded. Rifleman's being called. Mahout's coming out at the southern side. Howlers to the north. Yurumi coming in as well. So it looks like it's just massive damage here. The Jans need basically into melee mode, but also the Mahouts there do massive damage. Yurumi ripping through the Abus guns, and not enough Abus guns to have to do the Howder. This is an utter cleanup here, especially now with the Yurumis dealing on the Janissaries. The Howders, the Mahouts are going down, one very low HP behind, but the Mahouts here just acting as a tank fundamentally. That's what they're trying to do. It's the Yurumi and the Howders doing damage, and Chiss calling big GG there. And Snoopa taking game number 1. Welcome Chiss to the chat as well. It's nice. It's nice when players come in and have a look at the cast, have a look at how the game went, how it went wrong. I'm loving that fake out play with the ceasefire there from Snoopa. Snoopa's like, oh my god, you're about to lose your army. I'm gonna call the ceasefire button, and you just run away. I'm like, no. But yes, the pushing out with the Falconet play there, definitely the right idea. India, a civ, struggle with fast age-up civs, putting pressure with Falconets. It's not like Snoopa had enough Gurkhas, and even if he did, Gurkhas in colonial age, 18 ranged Falconets, no problem with them. Zambreks, yeah, not great, but they're pretty squishy, so Vet Jans would demolish that. What I would say there with that is just I think something went wrong with the age 2 build. The dock play, in the end, it didn't quite work out as you anticipated, and yes, that's kind of how the game went. But for a while, I just thought, yeah, the fast fortress play there from Otto had its chances, and with that aggro going down as well, that could mean giving you all the experience you needed to send another shipment, get those Vet Jans in earlier, send in another unit shipment, and just start pushing the town centre. But Snoopa with the Howder play, very smart, very aware of Ottoman's weaknesses, and he takes the first game. This final fight is probably not going to be too much pleasant viewing here. Yeah, half military pop compared to these high population, strength units of the elephants, and just the Yurumis just getting up and close with orders, infantry in close formation, doing massive damage there. Village population, not really much to see. We do see a couple of villagers going down in the base, which is certainly not ideal in that situation. And the oil resources doesn't really make, again, it's a low eco civ versus India, so not really much there to see. But yeah, the time where ceasefire was called was essentially, probably about 9:20, and just there was a bit of a flat line there behind Chiss where not much was happening. The 1K wood came in. The 1K wood just didn't work this game and allowed the Indian player to get back into it. Right, let's move on to game number 2. Ooh. Snoopa and Chiss, let's do it. Just having another swig of coffee before we begin the second game. And the second game will be played on Malaysia with Chiss playing now as the Indians. Snoopa was Indian last time. Chiss now playing as the Indians, spawning to the northeast of the map, Malaysia. Snoopa now playing as the British civilization, spawning to the southwest. See both players making a mad dash for the middle map, trying to get as many of these yaks as possible. A map which India does exceptionally well. We do see Snoopa go for a very early trading post. Did Big Chiss see that one? Scout that one? Yeah, he has scouted for the early one. Trading post has been thrown down for the British player, but also does notice how, although one yak is hanging around there, or should I say one water buffalo, Chiss is able to move around this top side, try and look for any of the other water buffaloes here. Just one on the coast, missed the one down to the south there, but otherwise Snoopa's a bit busy. But the entire southern side of the map, southeast, eastern side, is under Chiss's free will to scout, and so far has found a total of 5 water buffaloes, likely to find 6th and likely to find 7th there as well, with an 8th behind the base if he ever goes up that high, and a 9th down here if he ever ventures this far to the edge of the map. So overall, the one explorer going one trading post early on kind of gives the map and yaks away to Chiss, and the fact that the Indian player has essentially 9, well, soon to be possibly 9, has 5, but could get to 9, would equal a trading post as well in that respect. So both players are kind of trading their kind of advantages in the opening for each other. Oh, Explorer here is really low, and actually Chiss coming here for the steal, but the Explorer here, Arthur Hudson, very low HP. Looks like Snoopa was taking on a 3 monitor lizard treasure guy at 90 food, but really did not critically value how strong those lizards are in hand-to-hand combat. They are strong. If I find another one, I'll see what the stats are, but I think it's 12 hand attack, and they move really fast as well, so your Explorer can get quite swamped very, very quickly, and before you know it, your Explorer's low HP will gone down, your treasure is stolen, and there's some great treasures in the minimap as well, still 75 food and 40 food. Yeah, even small treasures like the 40 food is incredible treasures for with respect to how easy they are to take down and how little you lose or commit to taking it as well. So certainly I'd rather take 2 sets of 40 food treasure as the Indians than one maybe 75 together. Just I suppose in this case actually doesn't matter, you can kind of get the stun on both Black Panthers, but yeah, with double explorers, what I'm trying to say, that they can get real good treasure values from always low tier treasures because they've got 2 of the explorers. And speaking of aging up time, it's going to be a good time here. Less than 3 minutes, but the villagers are moving out a little bit late and keeping an idea there. No attempts to block the aggro here from Snoopa, but I think he can't with 34 HP. I'm surprised he's really actually still pushing out. I'm guessing he can try and pick up a 40 wood. There's a monitor lizard, only 10, but it's a 7 speed there, same as a Black Panther. Yeah, maybe just got unlucky with the kiting, especially if you're trying to kite away as well. Sometimes you get the double damage bug as well, which is also not ideal. Dutch Raptor seems surprised. He seems surprised that Snoopa is winning versus Chiss. Well, I mean, after game 1, Snoopa was the worthy winner of that game, but game 2 is a whole new affair, and we see how these two players go. These series from the Trash Can Leagues are play all 3 games. Every game is worth a point for your position in the league table after the 8 rounds everyone faces, or the 9 rounds or 9 scheduling rounds, let's say. So Chiss will do very well to kind of put that behind him, and his start this game has been very well, certainly stronger than the British players' start, and looking to age about a decent time here. It's going to be about a 440. 440 time, possibly 435. Looking to be aging up quite fast here. Has a shipment ready to go already from all those yaks he's gathered. Meanwhile, let's ride with Snoopa and see what he's up to. He looks like he's gone for his Has he gone for VC already? Has he? He's gone for VC already. He's nearly up and should have the 700 wood ready to go behind this. So going for a VC boom on Malaysia, which is it's an interesting map. Sometimes you can get really lucky with both players having hunts behind their base, but this is like Snoopa's second, Snoopa's third, Snoopa's fourth out there, and that's already getting to the realms of uncontrollable. So Snoopa won't have too many herds to herd him behind. Could go water on this map as well to kind of expand and get another source of food income. But India's a civ easily dropped out of dock. They already have their second tier wood research in the market for them due to their civilization. They also have shipments. They'll be fine going water and contesting. And in the third age with the siege elephants, that's another treasure. Snoopa's got stolen from him. Big Chiss taking no prisoners here. Open up Gurkhas here instead of sepoys. I think versus Brits, I'm always happy to open up 5 sepoys. You never know if you're going to go longbow or musks or hussars. The sepoys just do very well versus all of them for the time being. But the Gurkha transition as the game goes on is absolutely fine as well. 2 sepoys here, sieging down the trading post. Nice play. Sometimes when I see players having just one trading post, I'm like, yeah, it's just one trading post. It's not stagecoach. I'll just leave it. But the quicker Chiss sends units to them, the quicker this goes down, and the quicker you get the XP for killing this building as well, which is 80, and the opponent stops receiving the benefit of it. So it is like a win-loss, but a win for you, a loss for them, which is also means a double win for you in that sense. So it's certainly worth sieging down and taking your opponent's trade posts. Doesn't mean you have to build it afterwards yourself, but just to take them down is a double win for yourself. The kill XP and denying your opponents that income of XP as well. In base, we do see 5 musks, 5 longbows, 700 wood, 600 wood here. No 5 vills, but looking to get the extra wood, possibly for second racks and continuation of that longbow production. Got to be aware though that the Indian player here could be doing some idea along the line of 300 export, which he has done now. So he's gone, distributed them, foreign login, 300 export, consulate down, align himself likely with the Ottoman consulate's market wasn't built. I can't see the consulate being dropped down anywhere just yet. Obviously, just not yet getting the wood for it. I'm probably going to try and time a 3 hussar with a 4 sour pop would be a very good play. And in this series today, there will be no AZAC UI. These players do not play with that, but it's okay. I mean, it's a nice UI for, I guess, people who are a little less focused into the game. But for me, I barely ever look at that top graphic because all the information I need is at the bottom, which is probably the most important part. But I can just see what's going on and command and tell. Gurkha's moved in quite deep here. I don't think he's noticed the longbows here. Saw the musks retreating, maybe trying to get a pick there, but he can't stand a fight longbows in this situation. Longbows utterly destroy the Gurkha in the second age. He's going to try and retreat, waiting for those hussars and for those sours behind. Chiss is now sending in 700 gold. Is he going to go for stable himself and try and produce his cavalry that way? 700 gold this early seems to be one ship. This shipment seems to be one shipment too early, I think, is the fair comment on that one. I'm not really too sure how he's going to squeeze all that 700 gold value out in a very efficient way. Still having villagers mine as well is not ideal. Only need the UI if there's no Harrison there. Yeah, I mean, it's because I'm cast now. I'm looking for every detail. I'm hyper aware. I'm wanting to find out what both players are doing at any point. I can make predictions. So I was predicting Snoopa going to export into 4 sours there, but he went 700 coin. But I'm just there searching for his every move to see. And also, obviously, so I form my own opinion about it myself because that's part of the fun. Obviously, it's all good. It's all good stuff. Okay, pushing in with 10 sepoy, 8 Gurkha. It looks like here for Big Chiss. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Researching settlers first car as well. So Chiss is just trying to keep some more of an economic route, not going for hussars first in the Ottoman consulate. Hussars here on top of his mass longbows would have really put this British player under pressure, having to hold with the musketeers, and well, the 3 hussars and the 4 sours would have ended the game. I would suggest double dock transition here for Snoopa onto the water. That's a lot of resources to invest at this critical stage of this matchup. But I think Snoopa's going to get away with this one. And Chiss looking to just wait for his timing. And we speak about timings of collating your resources, spending all together to have the strongest push. But Chiss here is just going to be aging up behind, and you have to argue with the British player having hunts. It's just giving time to your opponent in this case. 47 vills, double fish dock booming behind this, 5 muskets being trained out. Yes. And the thing with Chiss, like, it's okay if you have an idea that your opponent's going water, you do have this scouted out. You've sent your explorer on the coast, which is very good. You can see that this mola mola is starting to be harvested. You see that this fish as well, not yet gathered from. But if you were paying attention and working the tabs, you will have an idea that something like that is up. The fact that he's going to H3 now, it means, well, do I invest in the land cards or do I invest into sea cards? Do I send 2 siege elephants and try and put pressure on frigates and docks that way? It's quite hard to adequately pressure both fronts. Maybe send a frigate and have your army camped here to try and siege down the docks manually from the land. You're thinking versus colonial British plane, not many cavalry, disciplined sepoy. Yurumi's going to do very well. See how Chiss has kind of continued that production. He's got some resources now to play on from here. Does have, looks to be professional hunters, civil servants, not quite yet there with the imperial bureaucracy, I don't think. Anyway, next to the age, got enough food left over. What's his first card going to be? He's going to go for 9 sepoys. Card number 1. Which is, a strong card. Discipline sepoys, 9 sepoys. Train some more sepoys from the Agrafort, looking to carry his villager production. The thing is, because sepoys, it's not a food costing card. It's not as strong as a value as a 7 Yurumi, and it kind of feels like it's one of those type of cards you really want to send first, just to get that biggest momentum swing in your favour once that card drops. 9 sepoys is going to round up your competition and allow you to push in a little bit more. Going for Mansabdar sepoys, I'm sure he's going to change onto the British consulate now as well to really buff. Go for maybe British redcoats as well. So yeah, no Ottoman hussars at all this game. And Snoopa gathering out in the map. Map is Malaysia. This his second hunt still alive. He's gone through his 3rd hunt and he's kind of got his 4th hunt herded in this way. So he's actually got a lot of food supply nearby. 2 dead deer is not ideal, but I'm worried that any attempts to herd this will just create a back herd situation. Snoopa dropping dock on northern coast here from the Indian player. This will be highly likely to be unscouted here from the Indian player. And I'm waiting for this time, and he's got to go on the Yurumi. He has to go on the Yurumi. This is what it's going to be all about. The 7 water buffalo is like, I feel like livestock can be buffed to India. It doesn't provide enough XP. Like the 7 water buffalo is the same as a European church. Like 7 cows, but you only get the same input as a church. I think Sacred Pen on 7 cows is worth it. I think Sacred Pen triples the XP income. So basically, Sacred Pen is about 200 wood, I believe. You get basically another 2 churches for it, 300 wood. So it's certainly worth it in that sense. Pushing in now, 1 Mahout. Here comes the, Yurumi. And it looks like Chiss is just going to walk straight in here. I think that's absolutely fine. He just wants to get in, and all this drag boxing is actually going to work really well. What Chiss is doing very well is he's just clicking. He's not attacking. He's just moving. So the army move, but as soon as he presses the attack move, they kind of all find their space. And they kind of bug each other out through this passageway. So yeah, good block. Advent's pushing forward, getting the stuns down. A couple of Yurumis stuck, but most of the army's kind of positioned lovely between the racks and their barracks and town centre and the town centre and the mine. The Yurumi have gone down to the southern side. A couple of musketeers do get caught there, but musketeers stands still having to protect longbows because the longbows can't kite, remember. And these disciplined sepoys are certainly going to town, and this looks to be a very strong push here for Chiss, taking the advantage, more XP, going for Gurkhas now. Oh no, Chiss, that's not what I would have wanted to see at this moment in time. 2 Mahouts, you just need to kind of keep going and keep going with your kind of your seaboy play. These boys are certainly very strong, especially up and close and personal. You're not versus a civ with skirms, traditional skirmishes, shall I say. Going British East India Company afterwards was absolutely fine, but you see that taking these fights is just reducing your mass. Obviously, you're taking a good fight. I'll never dissuade that. Has he got discipline? He actually has got discipline Gurkha, so I must have missed that tech coming in behind there. I'm surprised he's kind of cut production here from the barracks to go for that tech instead of just pumping out more and more seaboys, considering that Snoopa's still stuck in that second age. But the fish boom's starting to really take off here on the Southern Sea very specifically, and until that town centre is taken down from Snoopa, I wouldn't count him out whatsoever. 70 villagers, his production here is going to be pretty tight, but yeah, with more and more eco on the sea, I think it's quite clear that the eco on the sea is going to be the real critical and crucial one, so it's probably time to push fields across the map. These guys, though, they do have strong upgrades, though. 0.72, he sent rendering plants, so he sent rendering plants. That's nearly up to about 50%, so he's gone for rendering plant and gill nets. No long lines, but got the gill nets eco behind, which is certainly good, so these fishing boats are really strong, actually. 38 fishing boats with rendering plant gill nets is incredibly good eco. Won't be idle because of Chiss is really pushing this land agenda here. In a weird sense, I think you just try and clean up your own northern side of the water if you scout it, or do you try to halt what's going on the southern side, although the fish is starting to be taken out. I think one of these, I think all these whales have been gathered. Okay, that's not been gathered. That is being gathered there, so it's a bit of a mixture. But more and more Gurkhas pouring in, but just needing that siege from the seaboys. It's really strange. I'm not often I'm like, yeah, just go pure musketeers, but this is one of those matchups and situations of just where you really want it to happen. 15 musks out, and yeah, unfortunately, no match of what's coming in. 2 caravels going to send to the southern side. Okay, so he's got a bit of a defensive hold here. More and more fishing boats being trained behind us, so a strong eco, and that should just allow Snoopa to have all his land villages on the tree line gathering. Does have log flume behind, so good upgrades there from Snoopa. Yeah, this game's not over. You guys thinking this game's over? It's not over. It's definitely not over. Chiss dropping town centre on the far southern side of the map just to get large amounts of line of sight. If anything, it's probably a bit too close to the edge of the map. I'd rather have a town centre here or here for the whole line of sight purpose, but I suppose he wants to really secure this hunt. Gurkha's going in. There's the siege elephants. That is going to be a real nice power spike into the Indian player's advantage. These are very strong versus buildings, incredibly strong, and it's starting to work away his barracks is now twice as strong as a falconet, actually. So these double siege elephants doing more damage than 2 falcons put together by twice. Yeah, it's looking rough for Snoopa, but this kind of like backing off style here from the Indian player is just giving Snoopa that ability to try and do something. I don't know what he could try and do, but try and do something is a good start. Oh, Indian player's got the 5 petard card. You know where that's going. That's going straight to the town centre. I think these petards, yeah, they're just normal petards. They're not constant style units. They only have 1600 siege, so they will take the town centre down to, well, it would actually kill the town centre. That town centre will go down with 5, but it looks like it's just trying to split the petards into the barracks. Bit overkill with all this army here and the elephants. I think is he going to cancel it? No, he's just going to do it. Just style points at this moment in time, I guess. Now he sees the dock, but the siege elephants here, the caravels. Oh, he's doing so much damage. That's going to be a one-shot. Not quite going to be the one-shot kill, but he's going to basically nuke that next caravel, and the seaboy should be able to clean up behind. 9 musks, couple of longbows. France can be dropping 4 barracks in base because he has the production for 4 or 5 barracks. He may be aging up here just because he's kind of by sheer necessity, actually. Even with a full patch of longbows, can age behind as well. So certainly an option there for Chiss. But I think he's realised that these docks are down. He's on the water, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a villager here drop down a dock here and start his way onto the water. Maybe next shipment here is a frigate. Yep, frigate being sent. Home flag moving forward. There's only 1 caravel and actually only 1 dock as well. So all these fishing boats are exposed. They have to cross the sea to get in. But the thing is, back into the docks, if they go, they're not gathering and they're on the other side of the ocean Guardian, 0 whales and 0 fish. He's moving his frigate to support his land army. I think is the smart decision here. Really, you're gonna need like some. I thought it's 2 Yurimi there, and the water's just drowning, but it's obviously not. What if those Yurimi ever survived? I don't think they are. I haven't quite seen them in the army yet. They must have all gone down that big fight with the Mahouts underneath the town centre. Snoopa agent up here. More longbows being produced, and with enough longbows, they do just about trade. If the Indian army's far apart, but Sepoys, they just keep moving in. They keep on rolling. 250 HP, 32 attack. Very, very strong units here. Yeah, longbow's been basically right to the middle of the Indian army here is certainly not ideal. These units only have 95 HP. Sepoys it looks like this Indian army there suffered 0 losses, and all I'm just seeing is just British units going down left, right, and centre. And Big Chiss here storming ahead with this one, taking the game, and GG comes out of that one. So it's going to be 1-0 for well, not 1-1. It's going to be 1-1. So Big Chiss getting the point there. Oh no, I can't have Snoopa get the second one there. I was forgetting what my I've got my scoreboard the flipped way around. Pardon me. Let's get this one sorted. Right. I've got one F number for switch players and one F number for add score and one for take away score. So when I had that blind, I had it on basically behind blinds. I got that a little bit the wrong way around. Got player skills following earlier today, and Luxembredi just following there as well. Thank you very much. I do have my alerts on as well, but I do have my follower sounds off. I find that a bit disrupting during casting, so I hope you guys do not mind in that sense. Looking at the post game here, massive fight in the British players' base. I was worried there, but Chiss was taking too long for him to push into the fortress age. I suppose that he's right in saying that if you age and just push him with just a one shipment, then you're kind of putting like a price of 2,200 resources on just that one shipment to carry across. But waiting for the second shipment, teched into disciplined Sepoys, got Brit Consulate as well, and basically pushed him with the Indian Explorers at full health fortress age, the Mahout Lancers, 7 Yurumi, and about 25 to 30 disciplined Sepoys at the very least. A couple Gurkhas behind, really doing the damage. And the thing is, the Chiss, he just, because he has this musketeer longbow kind of competition, he couldn't retreat, he couldn't keep backing off, he couldn't try and delay it and wait for reinforcements. Had to fight there and then. I do like the transition to water, and I do like how he has got some decent technologies to go for the fishing boats to ensure that his resources being gathered are certainly very, very strong, kicking in. And yeah, the economy very much in favour of Snoopa there, but unfortunately didn't have the time. And when you play this style, you kind of really have to utilise the walls. I notice it's a bit of it's a nice wall in here, but it's a shame how India literally just walked right through that gap by just clicking their army to this location here or here to kind of bypass this walling section. We always talk about DE pathing, but sometimes DE will just basically squeeze armies through gaps if they're not attacking anything, just to kind of make sure units don't get stuck on buildings or stuck in buildings, which they've had a bit of a notorious past for that one. So yeah, Chiss using his slippery unit control there to get in amongst the British army and just destroy them in close combat, and the eco wasn't enough to save Snoopa there. We go into the final game of this Play All 3 series. Scores are levelled for the time being. Round 6, Snoopa Chiss. Third game looks like it'll be on Florida. Let's do it. Dory is saying that India are OP. I don't think they're OP. I think, honestly, I think they're below that kind of like that A tier power level. I would put them at high B. I'd say even Japan here are stronger than India. I could do a civ tier list at some point soon. A lot has changed recently, and a lot of perceptions have changed. I think the weirdest one is like there's now like most of the civs are in A tier and S tier because they keep buffing basically every civ, but they don't buff it to the average civ. They buff it towards the top civ. So it's like, oh, it's they kind of try and make, let's say, the British, who I consider an S tier civ, or maybe S minus civ, the kind of gold standard, and pushing civs to that level, which I don't really agree with, but that's certainly a conversation for another day, and I'll put India far below that for the time being. So we're spawning onto Florida here, just playing as Japanese, getting 100 food treasure nice and early. Does drop one shrine in base, no attempt here to make a consulate. One orchard ritual, scouting around, looking for these goats. We'll find another goat if he's looking. Oh, look at it, see his scouting pattern. He does see a decent amount. You've got 5k berries in his cherry orchard, so he has the time and liberty to basically have a full scout pattern here and cover every single bit of fog of war, and then safely make it back to his base later. But yeah, double shrine on his deers. Hopefully these deers get attracted. Yeah, that's one coming in. That should be another one. Yes, so it looks like this hunt will get pulled in completely. And oh, big chiss here. He's going to go for a Tory Gates age up maybe, or you still could go to Sugar Shrine. It's just that he's not going consulate here because he's sending in the free fishing boats, so he's not planning to send heavily cami, and with no heavily cami, Portuguese consulate doesn't feel particularly strong behind this. So open up the 3 fishing boats, making shrines early on, getting that extra food income, and yeah, these shrines here, 0.28 food per second, just on the 2 up to 0.35. So when these are fully staffed by these deers, if they do come in, I don't think these guys will walk any further. It's going to be like about 3/4 of a vil each, so it certainly will help that age up time. Bits have I spelt it completely wrong? Oh my god, I've spelt it wrong. Don's Tate. Must have typed that up super fast. I'm just getting that extra T in there, aren't I? Just getting that one extra T in there. Don't need that. I'm being overly keen with my T's. There you go. That's absolutely better. But he makes a very good point. Although, some players have been trying to get for individual show matches, this is just a prize pool for the players across the league. I'm paying the top 4 places, maybe top 5 places, a nice spread. I'm contributing about £140 of my own cash towards it, maybe 120 around that area, but hoping to top up with any donations from the chats, and they're going to the players as well. So at the moment, the base line prize for the number 1 player is going to be around about 60, maybe £70, which is a decent amount of money. It's certainly pretty decent, and yeah, 70 quid is like a $2,000. Of course it's not, but you get the point. Yeah, I've been enjoying this these games from these players, and I've really been enjoying casting them as well. Certainly because of how close all these series are, and yeah, another 2-1 series this will be. And Chiss and Snoopa trading blows for blows, like 2 boxes in a boxing ring. So the Tashoka Shrine is coming up behind us for Chiss, opening up with multiple shrines. I only got 2 shrines there, so I'm kind of struggling to see where this extra food went. Maybe he went for the Hanami parties on his... yeah, he's got that first tier food upgrade from the market, but maybe a 3rd shrine could have had the same results. I'll need to do the maths on that one and see which one works. Okay, we do see our forward blockhouse coming here from Snoopa, building this with the 2 villagers, which is absolutely fine because you can't get punished by any Minutemen these days. So these villagers are absolutely safe. They can build it anywhere they like, and life is good for them. It's going to be a somewhat decent age up time here for Chiss. Again, looking to be at that kind of 4 minutes 40 seconds time in maybe 4:35. How many villas has he got building? Is it just the... He's got 2. Okay, so he's got 2 villas building the Sugar Shrine. Usually I'm used to players only having the 1. So yeah, 4:30 there instead of the kind of 4:40 age up with the 1 villager. Shipment ready to be sent here. He's going to go open up the 600 wood. A couple of walls coming down. Barracks being built here by lots of villagers, noticing that Snoopa's up, so he wants to get his infrastructure down before the 5 Cossacks. Potential 5 Cossacks, but yeah, he's going to go 5 Cossacks. Snoopa here going to go 5 Cossacks, 10 Strelets. I think a lot of Russian players acknowledge that Cossack Strelet is a much stronger opening versus Japan than Cossack Musketeer. Let's have a look at Russian players' deck. 1 Velocity, 1 Anti-Water. Does have a couple water cards himself. Has Spice Trade as well. No 4 Cossacks here. So having Spice Trade and 2 Caravels. 4 cards in Age 1 might not need to send Team Cavalry Scouts. Could have 4 Cossacks in there, or maybe take out 600 gold for 700 food. A couple key cards there for Snoopa I feel are missing, and I'd certainly feel more safer to have them in my deck just in case. But the Cossacks moving in. Is there any anti-cav on the way for Chiss? He's calling Pike Sentries, but a little bit late there on the commit, and the Cossacks will get two Yumis there. The third one about to go down, it does, and Pike Sentries will pick off one Cossack essentially before the town center does the rest. But as soon as the Shredders pull up, those Pikes have to kind of retreat. They are severely outgunned in that department. Looking at Chiss's deck, he does have the standard rack of cards here, trading out the 300 export here for the 2 Fumes in Age 2. Does have Enlist in Regulars, which may be a card to consider versus Russian pressure, but I feel that if Snoopa sees the Enlist in Regulars, it's fine. He's going to back out and wait. The Russian playbook here is probably to send 700 wood, send 700 gold, and mass Cossack Shredder, and that's what the all these wood crates will allow him to do. Would be maybe a second blockhouse, but continue production on these units, which cost quite a bit of wood for them. 100 wood per batch, because each Shredder here costing 10 wood apiece. Constantly coming down here, only being built by one villager. Would take a long time for this to be built. Maybe a second villager would work. Would be very nice to have that. Another layer of walls going down to the side, not yet being built. Florida, although it's a great map for Japan with all the hunts, large map as well, shining opportunities everywhere, it does provide the problem of a train post, train line going right for your town centre, and impossible to ward this. I think Shredders here shouldn't have enough range to take on this cherry orchard, so in this matchup specifically, I don't think the range over walls is much of an issue. Yumi Archers try kite here, pick off a few Shredders, but you've got to be careful. Shredders do move faster than Yumi Archers and considerably cheaper as well, so no real harm in losing a couple Shredders in that situation where Chiss is kind of playing with fire at that moment in time. Explorer gets denied, gets pushed back home, but there's plenty more shrining opportunities to the southern side of the base. I think both Explorers here are going to go trip down here. I would like to see, though, shrines being placed very specifically on this turkey hunt, because it's the opposite direction to where Snoopa's army wants to go. I think he naturally feels like, oh, I'm going to be up around here doing these shrines. Oh my god, he's gone straight into the base. He's delved straight in. Only a 1 Cossack batch there. Yumi Archers are out and about. They can't really kite any further, but a couple of Pikes, only 1 HP. Will do actually get them a couple of swings on the Cossacks, though. Town Centre hit. Are they focusing down the Cossacks? I think they are, so it's just Yumi Archers behind. A couple of Ashes behind us, but this is a fabulous trade here for Snoopa. Chiss here, they can't retreat his army any further, and all the villagers here from Chiss in the Town Centre, 24, he's now realised, actually, I don't need all of them in the town centre. He's going to group a couple of them out. And out comes Enlist and Regulars, because he notices he needs to kind of rip through his shreds a little bit faster. Here are the Musketeers. He now has changed his town centre fire to deal with the Musketeers, the high value targets here compared to the Strelets. But yeah, any target here is a goal for the Japanese town centre. Next shipment here, it feels like it's going Vils. Oh, I would really like to see Coin and go into Nagi Natters. I think Nagis is your kind of way to kind of get yourself out of this hole in this situation. For Vils, I don't really feel that Vils is helping you here, because it's just more units in the town centre. Might be wise to get a few Vils into this silver mine back here, so it's you try and minimise the amount of villagers nearby, but you kind of need to have Vils in the cherry orchards, which means more than 10 near the town centre, so kind of makes that play a little bit awkward. Yeah, that was a batch of 4 Vils there from the Japan player. For some reason, I thought Snoopa was just sending there 13 Strats, but he's already sent the Strats. He's sent that in the previous card, hence why he pushed in with a large Strat mass. Now the 700 gold comes in, he does have the stable production. Only 1 Cossack in queue. The coin crates go home, and these coin villagers will have a good time. A lot of food nearby still for the Russian player to gather, so good hunting opportunities. Working with a steel trap eco as well, so that's good to see. 2 villagers. The villagers from the blockhouse are a little bit too far forward, and will get picked off by the Yumi Archers gathering from Just his first hunt. This is his first hunt of deers. I mean, okay, his first hunt of turkeys have gone down here, but the deers are coming real close to the town centre, so that's quite fine to see. But luckily, keeping this one village exposed allows him to, have a village up close to build that second blockhouse at a later point. If he's not building that blockhouse, it's I feel his front position is a bit weak. I like how the stable's up here as well. I do like that. So ideally, you want the second blockhouse right here in front of that stable to protect the stable, but how these double kind of buildings cover fire for each other. Yeah, I would tend to agree, because I think you can always make the units, the infantry, and kind of the 4 Cossacks really adds is that kind of extra bit of spice you sprinkle on top of a dish. To finish off, it's a nice compliment, but it also it starts fights, it snares, it engages, it forces your opponent's hand. Where lots of strats, your opponent can just keep kiting if they want to in that situation. A couple of Shinobi no Monos. We do see some Nagis coming out here from the Japan player. I don't feel that raiding with 4 Nagis is the play. You might get a hero raid, you might kill 4 and 5, but unfortunately now with the daimyo behind, as soon as the Nagi's in Snoopa's base, he's either pulling back, 6 Cossacks to deal with these very expensive Japan cavalry units, or he's just going to go right-click your base and you're missing that time. And actually, Chiss is pushing out here. He's going to send those Nagis right back. He's actually going to go for the push here. With only 1 blockhouse, this is a bit risky. Looking at Snoopa's army in total, he's got 33 Strelets, 12 Musks. He does have some Musks, some Cossacks. Boyars is just coming now, so he does have that kind of nice tech to go with it. Shinobi no Monos is doing some nice siege onto the blockhouse. Single blockhouse. As soon as this goes down, Snoopa's in trouble. So bit of a tough time here. He's actually going to have to fight this, because he knows the price if he doesn't fight it. Cossacks engaging Nagis. Good opening start here for Snoopa. Shret's moving on to the infantry behind this, and yeah, the Nagis are kind of busy with the Cossacks. So enough musketeers behind. Musketeers going to hand combat now. The daimyo's on critically low HP. That's getting picked off by range, and the Nagi's getting swept aside here. Reinforcing back to Cossack strats here, likely Nagi Ashi from Chiss. Snoopa behind this, yeah, having Cossack Musk behind. Doesn't have that 4 Cossack shipment, which was talking about, which could be, that nail in the coffin here. Best shipment he has is 600 coin to try and stabilize here.
Cheers to the participants.
Hooray! Looks like we have a £5 donation there it's just behind this chat box. It's quite awkward. I'll get it back. Oblivion LT, thank you very much. I've just seen that Stret's moving a bit forward. Nagi's actually going to touch and engage, but enough musketeers here. Nice pull trick there by Snoopa, just reforming that army and making good use of that quality of life change there that DE put in the last patch, where heavy infantry form that front line, Stret's form the back line. After all said and done, after all said and done, I felt the fight went better for the Russian player there in the end, but the score still suggests Chiss is absolutely fine. He has been sending those villager shipments. Chiss on 42 villagers, or 39 plus 3 fishing boats, plus a handful of shrines, 8 shrines plus Toshogo shrine. Snoopa's only at 40 vills. This moment in the game, it feels like he could be slightly higher, but that maybe it's just how slow Russia is. So, Japan have the stronger economy, but it only takes a couple more units and a couple of decent trades for a Russian point of view, and the game just gets turned on its head in that situation. Yeah, Nagi's going for a raid, but there's 9 Cossacks chasing. Infantry tearing down this monk. That monk's going to get picked off. Was it always going to get poof off just in time? I love the bug on RE where the explorer dies mid-animation, but then his body basically gets teleported to the town centre as a dead corpse, which is quite funny. Wow, Chiss aging up here behind this. A bit of a building placement issue, so they're just having to wander around this village and know what to do. Yeah, the idea usually is to build it with 1 vill first and then pile villagers on afterwards, just to kind of minimise that walking time, but doesn't really matter. Looks like he's going to be aging with the Golden Pavilion. Let's get to the next stage. More Yumi archers. Range attack as well. It's just going to be fine. Yes, this is just a play of 3, but I hopefully we'll get on to the next series afterwards, which will be Eaglemut Shekler for you guys watching on Twitch. Obviously, for you guys watching on Twitch, all the series from all the previous casts, all the rounds, all the players, all the matchups, all the civs you want to see available in the playlist on the YouTube to come back and watch at your own time at a later point. And yeah, it's going to be a nice little kind of resource bank once it's all done. I nearly lost all the round 5 games because I completely forgot to kind of do the highlighting process and uploading I went back into it and Twitch said it's expiring in 0 days. I'm like, oh my god, I gotta get on with it. But luckily all those games are saved, and yeah, we've got a nice little chronological feel to this tournament as it moves forwards. We're certainly towards the latter end of this tournament, which is actually nice. I think everyone's kind of enjoyed it, but it's starting to run its course. All the players having to play each other. 8 series for everybody. A lot of games to cast as well. And yeah, I'm surprised I'm casting these games. I thought I'd have casted a few less. I'm surprised players haven't really streamed many of their games on their own Twitches, but maybe they've saved them for the action here on this channel, with the suspense of players not knowing how other people have done. Chiss aging up here. He sends in 2 Flaming Arrows first card. He's actually got his barracks in production of units. Should be no monos, no upgrades coming in here. So I'm looking for like just selling food here and just getting your disciplined Nagi, your disciplined Yumi here as priority. And Snoopa back in. Snoopa missing his opportunity to go in. He's getting a batch of 5 Cossacks out. This is the time for Snoopa to go in. If he is to go in, this is the time. Is he chasing Nagis at home? No, it's just Cossacks here going for a bit of a run home. Where are they going? I don't know where they're going. Maybe he thinks that there's stuff at home for him to chase, but there is none at the moment. He's just chilling at home, and Snoopa he's trying to age up behind himself. Okay, I mean, that's fine, because then you can get like vet strelats, strat combat, cav combat as well, and kind of get those upgrade routes. But I just felt that it was almost a right click and done there from Russia. But Chiss lives to fight another day. Snoopa playing the longer game. I would like to see him drop down an artillery foundry now and a blockhouse now in this position here to reinforce his front base, because you know that those Flaming Arrows are starting to work on those blockhouses, and it won't be long until that goes down. He's aging up fast with the Exiled Prince. A couple Cossacks in queue. A lot of food here. It's always good to see, but he does need to balance that eco out onto the coin and the wood line behind, because he does need more infrastructure and he needs these upgrades. His Vetstral, Vet Cossack. Yeah, I guess with 19 Musketeers, even veteran Musketeers will do fine. A couple Cossacks here trying to push forward. Where's that Explorer from Japan? He's still out on the map shrining these deers. Japan player. How many shrine pop is he up to? He's up to 140. Looks like Chiss as well, stabilising the next stage, getting in his disciplined Ashes. Vet Nagi is now being researched behind. Yumi's not quite there just yet, but he's really pushing in. I think Chiss feels very confident pushing in. Looking at Snoopa's point of view, we do see, well, that's wishful thinking. Strat's being queued up in that front blockhouse. Don't see a Cossack upgrade just yet. 2 blockhouses dropped behind, but yeah, it's kind of, it's like a trail of breadcrumbs here for the Japan player. Take down 1 blockhouse, so here's the next one, here's the next one. Yeah, so stable being thrown at home. Lots and lots of food for the Russian player. I think he realises he just needs the production and he just needs to buy time. So there's the Cossacks. Yeah, it won't get done. So he's going to have to go back Cossacks back at the stable at home. Does give time for the Strelak combat to come in behind this. He does have Boyars, which is very nice. It's Cav combat as well. Strelak combat, and this is Strelak combat the second, but a real strong one. Cav combat as well, a great card. He actually did send Team Cavalry Scouts as well. Okay, cool. That makes sense. Yes, these are very, very strong cavalry units. But at this level as well, you kind of feel that an arsenal as well, counter infantry rifle and cavalry cuirass will go a long way with this large army size. Chisko and Flintlock here, which I think is a bit interesting. He's kind of committing to this kind of Ashy Nagi style, but I feel that just versus mass Strelet, mass Cossack, you kind of know that these skirmisher style units will do very well versus the Ashies. You can expect that counter infantry at some other point. I'm surprised one of these buildings was not the artillery foundry just yet, but I'm sure there's time for him. Maybe as well that he's probably thinking, okay, I got Strelets and they're low HP units, and the Flaming Arrows will severely overkill every Strelet it touches, but actually kind of, in terms of resource damage per output, it's not really that great. Okay, Cossack's trying to go for the southern snare with a big Cossack flank topside, but I just don't think the Snoopa's kind of taken the right time to engage it. Look at these resources he's still floating. We always talk about picking a time to fight, get that macro spot on, get everything you can on the field before you do engage, and with another shipment needed ready to go with Cav combat eventually behind. while you got a cavalry mass, it's certainly worth considering. Vet Musks, no indication of it's going to be upgraded to veteran musketeers behind. Looks like Snoopa here with more than 50 strats is trying to control all his strats. Hammer's the best of us as well. And yeah. Snoopa's not thinking of going to the industrial ages. He's potentially not trained units here. He does have lots of production. He does have 3 blockhouses, 1 stable. Yeah, he's got just 2 Cossacks. He's taking the fight now behind this, and maybe Chiss has got to cash in here on, you know, Chiss's macro is not much better, but it's certainly an improvement upon the Russian player, and he has just more stuff being produced. He now has the HP tech coming in onto his Nagy's Nagy card being sent but not on the field just yet, and actually the fact that this engagement's happened before the Nagy cards come in is a massive win for Snoopa. They're absolutely buzzing with that. I think he is. He's probably thinking at the moment it's looking a bit tough, but with these 3 triple blockhouse producing behind, you've got 20 strats about to pop out. He does have production for another one as well. There's a second stable as well. Snoopa just spamming out those units. Villagers nearby on the woodline, a bit exposed, but yeah, the trades here should be pretty good. Shipment ready to go here for Snoopa. You could go 2 Falcon Cav combat here. Actually looking at what's on the field, yeah, you'd have to argue that the 2 Falcons would do very well. A couple Cossacks here from that second stable. May draw a beeline down here with this flaming arrows. Maybe 1 or 2 cheeky deals going to punch. Cavalry archer has gotten close with onto the melee mode, and actually may force a couple infantry to pull back onto it. This is a really close game, and it looks like Chiss is sending those reinforcements in, and those reinforcements just didn't quite hit the floor from Snoopa. I'm kind of actually surprised by this outcome. I assumed the Russian player was in a better position than I thought it would be, but I've got that call absolutely wrong, it seems. Oh, he now sends in the Falconets and Strats just a little bit delayed afterwards, and Chiss just pushing out the Japan superior army, I guess. I mean, to be fair, mass vet Nagy's with the HP buff from the Golden Pavilion is so strong. Now with Nagy HP from the card, force 80 HP, 30 range resist, so strong, and kind of a pseudo reason why I really like the Cossacks being continued to made instead of the Cav Archers. The Cav Archers, they're high HP. They do decent damage, I suppose. You know, continuously fighting, have their many resist as well. But apart from that, just the kind of Cossacks do a better job at blocking, protecting the Strats here. Falconet's working behind, but this Nagy play coming behind, and Chiss just continuous spamming units behind here. Let's look at his unit spam. Come on, just the 2 Nagys behind. Maybe saving up resources for the 4th phase behind. There's a full batch of 5 coming out. Does not have Bushido principles here from Japan Constant to complete maybe a 7 or 8 batch of Nagys. That would have really helped. But yeah, just endlessly sending in these very strongly teched Nagys, and they're so strong. There's the Strelets. Snoopa showing his hand and then resigning afterwards. Maybe out of hunts, maybe out of production. Oh, Snoopa just trickling in buildings when he wanted to form a single line of buildings over here. That the kind of the pressure game's over. Just needed to kind of form that defensive line at home. And it looks like Chiss taking that final game there. That last one, that felt a lot closer than it looked. I really enjoyed that game. But it looks like Chiss will have to get that one. I think that's right. If it's wrong, I want to shoot myself. Oh my god, not again. Is that better? Yes, that's better. Chiss taking that series 2-1. Well played, Chiss. Very well played. I suppose having an equal army population is not the greatest situation for Russia to be in with your opponent. You always want to be kind of like a 3-2 advantage, certainly more. The trading off is very nice, but in the short amount of time, if you can't replenish that with your trades, it can't quite work. It felt so scary then when Chiss aged up and Snoopa had the potential to right click and just not upgrading his units as soon as he aged up, just having another Ashy in queue. It felt like he was just kind of opened himself up there to the inevitable, but Snoopa with his macro thinking, hang on a minute, I can go back, buy myself some time. The idea in principle worked. The 2 flaming arrows there from Chiss actually put in a huge shift, getting the buildings down. I think that's where this kind of game really was decided, was the buildings from the forward base going down. A lot of wood was invested to try and get his buildings back up, but this 20 Strelets, if they were came out before that first fight, because of the infrastructure being up there, that could have probably turned the tide in his favour. I don't think I ever saw Vet Musks being teched either. villager population. Yeah, the Russian production here is pretty decent. Yeah, a bit, maybe one batch there missing and one vill going down there. But I'm surprised how it's not super far ahead of Japan. I know Japan sent 3 vill, 4 vill, 4 vill, but you just assume that Russia would outscale in the end, but never really did in the end. Those shrines still putting in a big shift. Fishing boats on water again, not really troubled, but only the 3 there. That's not, that's absolutely fine. Even scouting forward as well, just scout whether his opponent's on water is a nice play to round things off. But yes, I have to say that's the end of this series. A good series. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you very much for watching. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow the playlist as well to see all the other casts being added there. And I'll catch you guys in the next series. See you later.